Now at 6, constitutional amendments on the ballot in Missouri. Plus, Wildcat Glades in Joplin kicks off Camp Wildcat. And school kids head to Pitt State to plug into a robotics camp.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
With the holiday weekend behind us, the countdown is on to the August 6th primary. And in Missouri, mail-in voting is now already underway. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Dow Quick. Ballots in Missouri will include 2 proposed amendments to the state constitution. Amendment 1 would make places that provide child care outside of the home exempt from property taxes. It's not clear how much that could impact local tax revenue. Amendment number 4 would allow the state legislature to require a city to increase the minimum funding for a police force established by a state board of police commissioners. This specifically would impact Kansas City's police force, which is the only police department governed at the state level. Kansas has no amendments on the ballot, but a number of candidates want your vote for the U.S. congressional seat in the 2nd District. 5 Republicans and 2 Democrats are competing for their party's nomination. We interviewed all 7 of those candidates, covering such topics as immigration, inflation, and abortion. You can see those interviews unedited on our website. Go to koamnewsnow.com/elections. Some area voters will choose nominees for county assessor on August 6th. KOAM's Amber Jenkins examines what that position entails.
Lisa Perry is the current Jasper County assessor and the only candidate running for the role on the August 6th ballot. Perry has held the elected position since 2019. According to her, an assessor only sets the value of property for the tax bill, which is sent to the collector's office for payment. The assessor's office abides by the state statutes and is held accountable by the Missouri State Tax Commission.
And we take care of the assessing of that, and which generates the bill down in the collector's office. And then you go down and either pay your taxes or they issue the waiver down there actually.
Every Monday leading up to the August 6th election, we'll learn more about the elected positions on the ballot. Next week, we'll learn more about the role of a county coroner.
Amber Jenkins, thanks. Some of us getting some rain right now, not all of us. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy.
Yeah, you can tell the areas that are getting the rain because your temperatures are quite a bit cooler. We're sitting mainly upper 60s to lower 70s once you get in the southern half of the region. But then out in our western counties, we aren't seeing the rain, upper 80s to near 90 degrees. Look at the bands of showers, even some thunderstorms kind of embedded in. Some very moderate to heavy rainfall has really fallen right along the I-44 corridor. You can see from Miami to Joplin all the way over towards Springfield. Heavy rain, Ottawa County, up through Joplin, north side of Neosho, all the way up I-49 to Carthage. We are getting some flash flooding, so be careful of that if you are going to be out during the evening hours. But bands of showers and thunderstorms continue through the evening hours, especially on the Missouri side, and then still showers sticking around as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight. We're going to be talking more about this and what is to come here in just a bit.
Catching a few. The 2nd annual Camp Wildcat kicked off today. The event, hosted by Wildcat Glades Nature Group, gives participants the opportunity to learn all about the wildlife, plants, rocks, and habitats found at Wildcat Park through hands-on activities. Respect for the park was also on the lesson plan.
Respectful of things like poison ivy. We don't handle any of the wild animals out here. We try to remind them that this is their home, and so to leave them alone. We also try to remind them to pick up trash, so we try to carry trash bags when we do hikes and whatnot. That way they're respectful.
That event runs through Wednesday. We're going to have a lot more on Camp Wildcat for you tonight on KOAM News at 10. Technology is increasingly important in this digital world, and today students at Pitt State's robotics camp got to hone their robotics skills. KOAM's Melissa Alexis has more.
We try to innovate ways to actually make this fun and exciting for them. A big part of it is the fact that since we use the Lego platform, that does help the kids interact with it pretty well on that.
Pitt State's Summer Robotics Camp is introducing middle school students to STEM at an early age. The students not only get to have fun and be creative, but learn valuable skills for their future.
Doing basic robotics to do kind of fun tasks but we try to help them be able to figure out how these skills will engage beyond the classroom into their lives as they go on.
The 5-day program is a series of hands-on workshops held at a lab.
It's hands-on, like you get to build and build and build, and you get to meet new friends in it.
It costs $115 to attend the camp, where kids will learn programming, robotics, and electromechanics, skills that some kids don't get to learn until they get to college.
The students here are being able to get sort of a head start towards moving on to different areas. We have a lot of kids who, once they've gone through our program, they'll go on and they'll do different robotics clubs in their middle school, high school, or even into the college levels.
Phillips says having a head start on learning robotics will have a huge impact on the students' future careers.
If this had been available back when I was a kid, back in the 80s, I definitely would have done this.
Phillips says his hope for the program is to spark an early passion for STEM. Reporting in Pittsburgh, Melissa Alexis, KOAM News.
That camp's going to conclude on Friday with a robotics competition. City of Joplin gives some future homeowners a financial leg up with its grant program. That story is just ahead. Plus, a job center in Southwest Missouri might soon have a new place to call home. City of Joplin throws a financial lifeline to future homeowners. The Joplin Home Buyers Assistance Program, or JHAP2, offers funds up to $40,000 per household. To qualify for the funds, potential homeowners must purchase a home within the City of Joplin, be a Joplin citizen, and annual income cannot exceed $93,000 a year. Today marked the first of 3 grant-funded housing programs launched by the city this year to strengthen neighborhoods and boost investment.
Well, it's always wise to invest in your citizens. They're the ones that we support. They're the ones who elected me to run on the city council and to become the mayor. So we want to turn right around and invest in those citizens and help them achieve the American dream.
The first round of JHAP launched after the 2011 tornado. The program will remain open as funding is available or until the application deadline closes in early 2026. Springfield, Missouri's Job Center could soon have a new home. Joe Hickman looks at the reason the city is considering the move.
Currently undergoing an exterior facelift at its longtime home in a strip mall in South Springfield, the Missouri Job Center may be looking quite different within the next year, as tonight the Springfield City Council will consider buying this 3-story building and parking lot as the center's new home in the central part of town between Division and Commercial Streets. Built in 1962 with several tenants, including a bank and Convoy of Hope, funding and negotiations for the building have already been completed at a $3.9 million sale price, with only the council's approval needed to start a $2.6 million renovation. As for the reason behind the move, officials say the centralized location is better for one of the main groups the job center serves, low-income people who need a job as well as other governmental services.
At our location on Sunshine, often grant participants were having to travel 2+ hours each way to get to our location. This will provide a centralized location for those reliant on bus transportation.
The current location for the Missouri Job Center is leased, and so the city considering acquiring a property will be more affordable in the long run, actually freeing up dollars that could go to other programs to help benefit the community.
The move has not come without controversy, though. While the city oversees the federal dollars allocated to each state, other organizations are involved in the different grant money decisions, and 2 of those groups, the Ozarks Region Workforce Development Board, which oversees 7 counties, and the Council of Local Elected Officials, known as CLEO, have expressed concerns with the short notice of the move, as well as the future of a long-term relationship with the city as the grant fund manager.
The issue that was identified at council was wanting increased communication, so the City of Springfield and the Ozark Region Workforce Development Board are working together to ensure that moving forward we have a stronger relationship and that each entity receives the communication desired.
A little later, the Grove Public Library opens the curtain on a matinee movie.
Plus, periods of showers and thunderstorms continue for us as we go through the overnight hours. Details coming up. Well, we've had some showers and thunderstorms rolling in during the afternoon into the evening hours, and we're going to continue to get these scattered thunderstorms as we go through the next several hours. And nice shots of our Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex Tower Cam, 7th and Joplin Street, looking northeast through downtown. You can see it's raining, you can see it's wet, and we're going to continue to see that as we go through the evening hours, especially on the Missouri side of the four-state area. All right, look at the bands. So where you see the yellows and the oranges, that is showing us where that moderate to heavy rain is. Not as many bright reds as what we had earlier, but this has produced quite a bit of heavy rain. So we have had some flash flooding, especially along and south of the I-44 corridor. This is all due to what once was Hurricane Burrow that made landfall this morning. Center of circulation is about 20 miles south of Texarkana, but you can see with it in these feeder bands, a lot of times you get tornado warnings. We're not going to see that here, but we are getting those bands of rain from that tropical moisture kind of running into a front as well. Let's go ahead and zoom in. So here's Miami, Commerce, down to Grand Lake, back toward Veneta, some pretty heavy amounts of rain. It lightens up a little bit, southern Missouri into southern parts of Berry County, then picks up again from Monette to Mount Vernon. Neosho up 49 to Joplin, and then Carthage. And then once you get really north of Lamar over towards Stockton Lake, it really starts to really lighten up. We also have a few thunderstorms which have been popping up west of Girard near Erie and also Parsons. So we are going to have these scattered storms as we go through the evening into the overnight hours. We're kind of right on that northwest side. Let's go through time. We're going to stop this at about 9:30. Showers, thunderstorms, southwest Missouri, and a little more scattered once you get out across Kansas and Oklahoma. Lighter showers by midnight, 1 a.m., and then kind of persistent light rain on the Missouri side late tonight and then into tomorrow morning. Then as we go through the morning, the rain will slowly exit and we'll break out and see partly sunny skies. All right, some areas have already picked up some heavy amounts of rain. Additional rain, a lot of areas are going to pick up, especially in our southern counties, at least a half an inch to an inch, maybe 2 inches in spots with some of those heavier batches. Through the evening, on and off showers, holding lower 70s. We'll dip back into the mid 60s later. You can see where we don't have rain, a lot hotter compared to the clouds and the showers, hanging out near 70 degrees. Currently outside 70, southerly winds at about 10 miles per hour. Once we get into your Tuesday, all this rain starts to work east. There still could be an isolated shower as we go into the afternoon, but we'll stop here at 5 p.m. Temperature is pretty good. Most of us sitting lower 80s. Tomorrow night, clear out, dropping back into lower 60s, and then on Wednesday, we start to heat things back up just a bit as our high temps are going to be near 90 by the time we head into Wednesday afternoon. So your day planner 67 to start, 73 by noon, high temp right around 82 degrees, but it does get quite a bit hotter. 94 by Thursday, isolated storm. 96 is Friday, Saturday, and then near 100 degrees all of next week.
Yeah, that's too hot, but as four-staters well know, there have been a lot of Julys where we struggled to get any rain to speak of.
Very
so
true.
It's good to get some.
Yeah, it's nice to see it.
Thanks, Doug. Still ahead, the Nevada Griffins play at home against the league-leading St. Joseph Mustangs. And a high school football standout from Coffeyville commits to play in the SEC. Don Dales has those stories and more up next.
If you've been
Field Kinley High School senior Keaton Jones had offers to play college football essentially anywhere in the country he wanted to. Alabama, USC, Oklahoma, Tennessee, and a lot more. Yesterday, Jones made his college decision. He'll be staying somewhat close to home. The 6'4", 315-pound offensive lineman announces on social media he's committing to Mizzou. Jones is a composite 3-star recruit, according to the recruiting website 24/7 Sports. He's the 7th best player in the class of 25 in the entire state of Kansas and the 35th ranked interior offensive lineman in the entire country. Well, the summer collegiate baseball season rolls along in the four states. In Nevada, the Griffins have only 2 weeks and 13 games remaining in their 2024 campaign. The Griffins play host to the St. Joseph Mustangs, who have been dominant this season. They hold the first place spot in the Mink League standings. These two teams played each other on Saturday night. That was a 17-0 blowout win for St. Joe. It only lasted 7 innings. Griffins try to get revenge tonight. I'll give you a score update at 9 and 10. Switching gears to Major League Baseball, this week is the final stretch before the All-Star break. We're more than halfway through the 162-game regular season. The first half has been both up and down for the Cardinals, but right now they're in playoff position. The Redbirds enter the day 47-42 in possession of the second National League wildcard spot, and this result helps bolster that. They beat the Nationals 6-0, thanks in a large part to a great pitching performance from Miles Michaelis. He goes 6 1/3 without allowing a run, striking out 3 and no walks as well. Now, fewer than 3 weeks from now, the U.S. men's basketball Olympic team tries to secure its 5th consecutive gold medal. As of today, the entire 12-team field is complete. We know all the countries that have qualified for the Olympics in basketball. Teams are separated into 3 groups of 4. Now, prior to advancing to the knockout stage, the top 2 from each group are guaranteed to move on. Here's Group A: Australia, Greece, and Spain, as well as Canada, who beat the United States in the 3rd place game of the 2023 FIBA World Cup. Now Group B, France gets a bid as the host country of the 2024 Olympics. Then Germany, who won the 2023 FIBA World Cup, even though its roster features just 2 NBA players, Dennis Schroeder and Franz Wagner. Those 2 are followed by Japan and Brazil to round out the group. Group C features Team USA, as well as Serbia, South Sudan, and Puerto Rico. Now, the United States is guaranteed to play all 3 of them in the group stage, which begins on July 27th. The knockout stage begins a week and a half later on August 6th, concluding with the gold medal game on Saturday, August 10th. Basketball in the Olympics is always one of my favorite, and it's interesting going into it because it's a different game internationally than it is here in the NBA. That's kind of some of the reasons why Team USA has run into a little bit of trouble in the last couple of years.
We'll see what happens this year soon enough. We'll be right back. Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. An investigation into a possible illegal sewage dump by a Southwest Missouri Public Works Department. Plus, we're going to have more on Camp Wildcat, giving local kids a lesson on nature, and how the presidential election is fueling a mental health crisis in America. Those stories, a lot more, it's coming up tonight. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. The Grove Public Library gave patrons a place to cool off and cool place to take in a movie. Kids of all ages could hit the library today for a Monday matinee. Fun-filled family experience even came with free popcorn and cold bottles of water.
We do a variety of programs for families, arts and crafts, STEM programs. We bring in presenters that do magic shows and animals, you name it.
Today's movie was Wish. That program runs every Monday in July, so you might want to check it out. Some of you getting quite a bit of rain today. Some of you not getting any at all today.
Yeah, the heaviest has been right along and south of the I-44 corridor, and we're going to continue to see these showers, even some thunderstorms continuing to pop up as we go through the evening hours. Some morning leftover showers, but temperature is pretty good, 82. Then it really starts to heat up later this week.
Because of course it does. Final sports notes.
A week from tonight is the Major League Baseball Home Run Derby, and Bobby Witt Jr. is going to be representing the Kansas City Royals.
Let's go, Bobby Witt Jr. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you right back here for KOAM News at 10. Let's make it a great evening.